I think it's time to have the serious talk. Manchester United is meant for glory and greatness. We all know it to be true. The history of the club, the players who have played for the club, they all speak to itself. Manchester United is made to win Premier League and Champions League. At least the name of Manchester United is made for it. Players who are currently playing for the club, well, vast majority of them are not made for Manchester United. And the sooner we can accept that, the sooner we can get back on track to compete with a team like Man City. As much as I'd hate to say it, the difference is pretty clear between the two clubs. But the good news is that I think Ten Hag is the right man to bring us back on track. The match against Sevilla shed some light on the players that unfortunately have got to go, and though Ten Hag defended some of the players during post-match interviews, the reports that have been coming out ever since the match are pointing to the idea that something big is happening behind the curtains and change is inevitable. Manchester United's departure list is around the corner, and Ten Hag has apparently come to a conclusion on the players who cannot add anything positive to the team. So if you guys are not aware, let me bring you guys up to speed. A few hours after the match against Sevilla, after the poor performance that players such as Harry Maguire and David De Gea had, many news outlets started reporting that Manchester United is going to get rid of and sell up to 15 players during the upcoming transfer window. And if you have been following Manchester United this season, it was a long coming. Arguably, I think we as Manchester United fans are all in the same boat that Harry Maguire should be on top of Manchester United potential departure list. I mean, don't get me wrong, no offense to the player and his fans, but it is really clear that he simply cannot deal with the pressure of being a Manchester United player. I don't want to talk about the tactical aspects of the player. He has shown really impressive performances whenever he has played for England, but for some reason, which I think potentially can be his mentality and the psychological aspect of the player, Manchester United and Harry Maguire are not a match made in heaven. And the sooner we can accept that, the better. Next up on the list is potentially David De Gea, whose mistake during the third goal was the blowing punch in the face for every Manchester United fan. We have been reporting on the channel that the club and the player have not reached an agreement on his extension contract, which might potentially obligate Manchester United to pay him up to £200,000 per week, if I'm not mistaken. Now, the match against Sevilla has really made a lot of Manchester United fans, including myself, raise the question of the player really being worth that number. The number one alternative on the list for David De Gea is also David Raya. I do believe that now might be a good time to move on to a new era with a new goalkeeper such as David Raya. If De Gea becomes the second option, it would be really nice, but I don't think De Gea would want that, and his reported salary might not make that happen either. Regardless, I'm curious to know if you guys think it's time to sell David De Gea too. Next up on the list can be players such as Victor Lindelof, Phil Jones, Arne van Bissaka, and Scott McTominay. Then again, I should mention that I personally speaking don't believe that all of the players I just mentioned are terrible. I just think that time has proven again and again and again that we as Manchester United fans should be constantly asking ourselves the question of standards. Do we want to compete with the likes of Sevilla in Europa League each year? Or do we want to go toe-to-toe with the likes of Madrid or Manchester City to win the Champions League? I don't know about you guys, but I clearly want the latter. And current players have proven to me as a Manchester United fan that they are not the right fit in order to achieve that ultimate goal. Also bear in mind that Ten Hag would want to buy players during the summer transfer window, and selling the likes of Scott McTominay or even Fred can free up a space for the likes of Jude Bellingham or even Alexis McAllister. There are also more names mentioned on the list that are said to be leaving the club at the end of the season. Reportedly, Donny van de Beek, Brandon Williams, Anthony Elanga, Axel Tuanzebe, Alex Tejes, Eric Bailly, and Dean Henderson are players that the club will go above and beyond in order to sell them to the right clubs. This season has had its ups and downs. The team has bounced back positively every time we have reached a hurdle, and I truly believe Erik ten Hag is the right man for Manchester United to follow our North Star. However, we should really also know that a manager without the right tools cannot really do anything. It doesn't matter if you're the special one, Jose Mourinho or Pep Guardiola. Even managers as talented as them cannot really add anything to the table unless they have the right tools and the right players. If you don't believe me, just take a look at the number our rival club, Manchester City, spends every year for the vision of Guardiola. Yes, thus far, there have been times that the vision has not been quite there, but I think Ten Hag has proven himself this season to be the right man with just the right vision Manchester United needs. He just needs the right players, and hopefully it can happen during the summer transfer window. But what do you guys think? Which players do you think should leave Manchester United, and which ones do you want to see stay? Do you think Erik ten Hag is the right choice to bring success for Manchester United in the upcoming years? Let me know in the comment section. Thank you so much for sticking with me until the end of this video, and also following our content on Always United. We just passed 700 subscribers subscribers, and we couldn't be happier. We really appreciate your support. It means a lot. Always United is the best place to follow the latest Manchester United news and rumors. If you want to be aware of the latest Manchester United news or updates, whether it's about Manchester United takeover or even transfer news, subscribe to the channel and also leave a like. Leaving a like also can really help us grow the channel on YouTube. If you want to hear more Manchester United news, check out this video regarding the latest updates about Mason Greenwood. Until next time, take care of yourself.